You do realize ain't no place for you in Obama's world? You do realize ain't no place for you in Kamala Harris's world? Don't you realize that? You do realize ain't no place for you in the Democratic world? See how easy that is to say? What are you saying? You think you saying something by telling me Trump don't like you, you're too poor, you're not in the same tax bracket? What? Like I said, fear mongering. This all these people do. They manipulators. I'm just gonna keep using these people and what they say against them, man. Because these people are scared. Democrats got them scared, successfully scared, real fear in their heart. You do realize there's no place for you in Trump's world.
So ever since I've showed my support to Donald Trump, the internet has called me a clown. I'm not educated. I'm not black. They wish Donald Trump would my daughters. They want me to go off a bridge. I mean, the amount of hateful things that people are leaving under my comments, it's so disgusting. You guys are so for love and peace and unity, but actually you guys are the most hateful people. You guys are a bunch of snowflakes. You can't handle somebody just stating their opinion. You can support Kamala Harris on your page. That's fine. That's okay. I don't expect anybody or everybody to think like me. So it's wild to me.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about some infighting on the left among black liberals because there's a psyop to get black people to support Kamala Harris without asking any questions, okay? And this is something that is already showing up even amongst so-called Kamala Harris supporters who apparently don't really know that much about Kamala Harris, but yet they're still pressured to support her just because she is black. And this is actually a real thing.
How much pressure, if any, do you feel to make the commitment and engage the conversation or the support for Kamala Harris from community before you've heard anything in terms of what her platform is?
Rather significantly. Being an HBCU alum and D9 member, we've already seen that push and that call for all of us to rally behind her. She already had my vote based on, and we had this conversation early in the year, the Biden administration actually campaigned on forgiving student loans, and they forgave my wives. That was a direct benefit for me. So they had my vote solidified on that. But I do feel like the symbolism of the moment does urge us a little bit more, even without hearing the platform, to be behind it.
It's kind of double for me personally because it's kind of like you're almost a villain if you have a question, right? It's almost like, you're anti something because you question something. And politically, because it's such a finite timetable of when you have to make a decision, it doesn't leave room to have a real in-depth conversation. You're almost put in a place where you have to just say, come on, let's go. And it's like, come on, let's go with what, right? And then when you're halfway down the road and you feel like wait a minute, I shouldn't be part of this bandwagon. Are you anti because you want to back off now? Or dude, let me out the car. You know what I'm saying? How you looked at now, you know what I mean? So it's rough.
That's a Boys and Hoods reference for people who didn't catch it.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Apparently, black people are being pressured to support Kamala Harris even if they don't know her policy positions, okay? And maybe, just maybe, they may not support her policy positions, whether that be from the left or the right, okay? Because there are people on the left who also have issues with Kamala Harris, and they're saying, listen, I have criticisms of Kamala. I don't think that Kamala is a genuine person based off personal conversation, and she has not done enough to satisfy me and what I want to see from a politician. And this is the perspective that woke Hollywood actress Amanda Seales is coming from. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with Amanda Seales, if you don't remember her, I cover her maybe once or twice on my channel. I think maybe once. She's a crazy person. She's super Trump deranged. She went viral for stating that she thinks that the assassination attempt on former President Trump is a hoax, that it was an inside job, right? This is what she thinks. So again, this is not an individual that is a Trump supporter by any means, okay? This individual is a far leftist, but even she has criticisms of Kamala Harris, and people are not happy about it.
Put in clips of Kamala Harris stating things. I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things. When I met with Kamala Harris after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out two sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging. And she said to me, well, you're being too critical. And I said, I am a voter. I'm supposed to be critical. That's my job. And I want to see actions. She said, well, how am I supposed to talk about racism in America without calling Americans racist? I said, well, first of all, there are many racist Americans. But there's also policy, legislation, institution, and systems that are racist that need to be addressed. They need to be addressed. And if you're not going to do that in an actualized way and in a loud, bold way, people will never really know where you're coming from. Well, you can't tell me how I feel. So I'm not telling you how you feel. I'm telling you how you sound. I'm telling you how you sound. Okay? The truth is that you should always question your source and what are their intentions. And what you all need to know is that I don't need to do any of this. I don't need to talk about any of this.
Am I the only one that think Amanda Seals is crazy? The Lulu? A little bit touched? Like she hadn't been taking her medicine or something? I don't know. It's almost like she just can't keep Kamala's name out of her mouth. Or anybody that's a hot topic, like she can't do it. She's had some type of personal interaction with them that is just pissing her off. Girl, go sit down. Take up some knitting, fishing, sewing, crocheting. Do something with yourself. I'm going to pray for you.
Amanda Seals, you already got on Club Shay Shay telling us about how you had the ADHD. I think that shit is kicking in because I'm trying to understand, who are you voting for? Like, is there another option? Are you not standing with Kamala Harris because you feel like she's disingenuous? So does that mean that you're going to vote for the lying clown? I'm confused. Like, what are we doing? Or you can't focus.
Imagine getting on Beyonce's internet bragging about how you told Kamala Harris she was talking out of both sides of her neck while simultaneously talking out of both sides of yours. Why would you, as somebody who brags about how well-read they are, use your platform to get on here and create dissension? Kamala Harris isn't your favorite pick for president. That's fine. That belongs to you. But when you know that what she's running against is Project 2025, when you know what she's running against is Mr. Trump, who got up to an audience of Christians this week and said, Christians, I love you, Christians. If you vote for me this time, you'll never have to vote again. What? Do we want to know her stance on racism in America? Absolutely the fuck we do, right? But also, you're citing an impossible task. Obama didn't end racism. Any other president that said he was with the African American community never ended racism. So now you want Kamala Harris to hang her hat, the first female president, you want her to hang her hat on ending racism in America. And it's 2024. It'll be 2025 by the election, and nobody else has been able to do that. Girl, get real. Hold on. This chit chat is clearly about Amanda Seals. Love real bad to know Kamala Harris's stance on racism in America, on the obvious erasure of black people in America, be it through cop unalivings or through literature that is being removed from the schools, right? I would love to know what she's going to do about cost of living increase and the obvious shrinkflation. You can't look me in my icicles, tell me, oh, inflation isn't happening, while simultaneously taking down everything an ounce in size but keeping it the same price. We don't have no money. I would love to know her stance on rent control. We can't afford rent. We can't afford to buy no house. And I just told you we can't afford to put the food in the house. Hello, big red truck. But again, when what she's running against is me losing my autonomy, me losing being legal, okay? Taking us back years, right? The racism you want to end, Trump and them gonna take us right back to it. So yes, I want to know her stance on all them things that I just mentioned, but I just need her to get to the White House. I need anybody but Trump to get to the White House. And again, why would you, Miss, I've got my degree in African American studies. I'm for my people. Why would you get up on the internet and be against the people that you said you was for? That's what I would like to know.
Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Do you guys see what's going on here, guys? This is the left. This is the modern left, guys. Shut up. Don't question Kamala Harris. Just sign up for something that you don't know, right? It doesn't matter if she's articulated her policy stances on key issues like inflation or the border or the economy or anything that actually really matters to the American people. No. It doesn't matter what her stance is on that. Just don't question her right now because Trump evil, Trump bad. Trump is going to take away all our rights. He's going to send us back because of racism. Again, this is the psyop. This is the brainwashing that is happening on the left. They're telling people, shut up. Do not say anything negative about Kamala Harris because you might actually discover the truth about her, which is that her policies are bad for this country. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with Amanda Seals and her woke agenda that she wants Kamala Harris to push. I disagree with it. But she has the right to question it. And if she feels like Kamala Harris is not woke enough for her, hey, she can freely sit out, right? Hey, if she don't vote at all, that's good. Because if she does vote, she's definitely not going to vote for Trump. She's definitely probably going to vote for Kamala. So, hey, if she chooses to sit out because Kamala Harris is too left for her, I'm okay with that. I'm totally fine with it. Just like all the people that choose to sit out because Kamala Harris, isn't supporting Palestine enough, or she's supporting the genocide, or whatever they say. Hey, it is what it is. You have the right to freely think and to question Kamala and to say, hey, I don't agree with this. I don't want to get on board with it, regardless of whether or not I agree with it, right? So I'm just saying, you should not be bullied into having to support somebody if you don't even know what they stand for, right? That doesn't make sense at all. This is especially bad when it comes to black folks. Again, you have all of these people who say, well, you're not really black. You're selling out your race. You're selling out your own people if you don't sign up for an agenda that I can articulate why is not good for black people. Like, for example, Kamala Harris is an open borders extremist. And that's not hyperbole. Like, that's not me exaggerating. She is. She doesn't think that being an illegal immigrant is actually a crime. Okay? She wants to decriminalize it. She also wants to give illegal immigrants free health care. Now, again, how is this supposed to be good for black people when you have all these illegals coming into the country that are taking up resources that black people in the rest of this country, American citizens, are paying for? And on top of that, they are diluting the resources, the voting power, and opportunities for black folks, right? That's what's happening. So again, how is it pro-black to sign up for the dilution of so-called black power? It doesn't really make sense. But yet these same people will tell you, oh, no, you got to get on board with Kamala Harris just because she's a black face. But they don't want you to talk about her policies, how her policies actually affect black people, which, again, is important when it comes to issues like illegal immigration, and especially when you talk about inflation and the economy, because, hey, liberals love to remind us all the time, black people are disproportionately poor in this country, right? They disproportionately need help. So please remind me on why you should not question Kamala Harris when it comes to policies that, again, negatively impact black folks and also the rest of the country as well, too. Now, again, they're doing the same thing with white folks, too. I mean, you should listen to the low testosterone white men that all gather on the Zoom call in support of Kamala Harris. These people are complaining about the patriarchy.
And that happens at the same time as the myths around America that we grew up with, that we as men are expected to be protectors and providers, are going out into an economy that doesn't really allow for that, especially for working class folks. And sort of like compounding on that, masculinity as a trope has been co-opted by the MAGA right into something that feeds into and exacerbates the loneliness epidemic, as well as the mental health crisis that many face that end up leading to really destructive behaviors. We aren't the only ones that are hurt by these things. Black and brown people, LGBTQIA plus people, especially trans women and indigenous people, and all sorts of other folks in our society who've been historically and often still today are marginalized and being hurt, demonized, and marginalized even further. So
I'm white, I'm a dude, and I'm for Harris. So wonderful to be here. And I dug what you said, Maurice. That's really terrific. The fact that you're here, you're a black man here with us white guys. I had no idea that this whole thing that we're up to was based on what? Black women for Harris, right? And so it kind of morphed into white men, white dudes for Harris. And I'm excited, man. I think, the fact that Joe has passed the baton so beautifully, and Kamala is just so certainly our girl. I can see her being president. I'm so excited. A woman president, man. How exciting.
Wow. Again, I ask, what happened to the white man? Okay. The white man went from conquering the world to this, to worshiping at the altar of the liberal black woman. Okay. You remember back in the day, disrespect of the white man would mean that the white man would crack the whip on you, right? The white man will set you straight, okay? The white man was feared. Now it seems as if in order to, advance your career in politics, you need to disrespect the white man, right? And you have some white men that will grovel at the feet of those that are openly working against them, because politicians like Kamala Harris believe in the ideology of equity, okay? Equal outcome, which is communism, and that explicitly calls for discrimination against white dudes, right? But hey, these white dudes are signing up and they're voting for it because, hey, as a white dude, it has to make you feel good to vote for a black woman, right? You are relieving your collective guilt, okay, by voting for a black woman. Again, my point is that this is all emotion. It's all fear, okay? That's what it is. They fearmonger black people and they say, oh, well, you need to vote for Kamala Harris because she's black. If you don't, then the evil white man Trump will send you back to Jim Crow, put you back in chains. This is what Joe Biden told black folks in 2012 when they were running against Mitt Romney. He's going to put y'all back in chains. They tell white dudes and white women that, hey, you're racist if you don't vote for Kamala. And if you do vote for her, that can relieve you of the guilt that you have internally for what your ancestors did to black people, right? So be a good white person and to vote for a black woman. We're not going to talk about the policies though, right? Notice how they don't talk about policy. Policy is not important. They're explicitly telling you, no, don't worry about the policies. We got to beat Trump. And that's what they're doing, guys. This is why outlets like CNN and MSNBC refuse to talk about Kamala Harris and her policies, because they don't want to. Like, they're explicitly trying to change Kamala Harris into something that she's not. So anybody that questions it, anybody that criticizes her, you're automatically going to be smeared as a racist, a sexist, a sellout. You're going to be told to shut up, don't talk, even though she came to power, became the Democrat nominee via a coup. Right? Nobody voted for her, but don't ask questions though, right? Don't criticize the person that nobody voted for. Just vote for it anyways because Orange Man bad. Again, this is how you get a real dictatorship, guys. This is how a real demagogue rises up, because of this type of thinking where you're not allowed to critically think, right? You're not allowed to ask questions about the person that is supposed to be leading the country. You're supposed to just go along with it. It doesn't matter what they believe. And then these same people, a lot of these people will be boo-hoo whining and crying about the results of the policies that they voted for blindly. That's what happened in Chicago. They ran the exact same playbook in Chicago. Well, don't worry about Brandon Johnson's policies. Don't worry that he supports sanctuary cities and he believes that we can share all our resources with illegals. Don't worry about that. He's black. So by definition, he must be good for black folks. Look how that turned out. It was a disaster. And you have some people that are falling for this, and then you have some people who are not falling for it. And shout out to the people who are not falling for it, because this is a Trojan horse. I promise you, Kamala Harris is a Trojan horse for this country, especially for black folks. And, you know, again, you really have to pay attention to realize what's going on. But again, unfortunately, because of the psyop from the media, a lot of people, they won't catch on. They're just going to go along with the pressure, right? But again, I think it is a good sign that you're saying that people are recognizing that, yeah, something's not right here, right? I'm being pushed into something, but not being given the details about what I'm being pushed into. And again, that is kind of rubbing some people the wrong way. And again, I'm happy to see that. So, hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.